Hello, Chicago. It's your boy Rome J here, cultural correspondent for the Tribe and host of We Real Chicago. Thank you guys for joining us and welcome to episode 7. Thank y'all again for tuning in tonight. So let's talk about new music. And here with me is Chicago native Larry Legend, a comedian and freelance journalist. After we talk music, Larry will stay on for this week's panel discussion, which is all about food. So stay in tune. Larry, what's going on, man?
Man, how you doing?
What's going on, brother? Oh, yeah. So just wanted to bring you in, man, for the Rome J Report. Chance the Rapper is featured on Justin Bieber's new single, Holy. Chance gave Bieber some high praise for his upcoming album. Ahead of this single's release a few weeks back, the two jumped on a live stream to talk about their new solo projects and more. So, Larry, have you heard Holy yet? What do you think about it if you've heard it?
I did not hear Holy yet. So I don't have a real suggestion. Opinion on it yet. I haven't heard it yet. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so just look it up. It seems like Justin Bieber caught wind of the whole gospel vibe. So it's something to listen to. Give it a look. All the people out there, Holy, Justin Bieber featuring Chance the Rapper. Next, Saba of Pivot Gang dropped 2 new singles, Mrs. Whoever and Something in the Water. Now, it's been 2 years since Saba released a solo single of any kind. So guys, go ahead and support the homie Saba. And Mello from Pivot Gang released a 3-song mixtape entitled Portions. So shout out to the Pivot Gang. We had Squeak Pivot on the show last week. Larry, so I know you have a show called Smoked Out Saturdays, right?
Yep.
Just tell me more about the podcast, the show. You've had some dope guests on there, man. Wood Harris, Mick Jenkins, Shauna. I just watched the episode where you had Chance on there, man. Talk about the show. Yep. How did you guys come up with the concept?
It pretty much came up with basically we've been doing that same concept in real life like for years. So we just figured like, why wouldn't we just put out a show that's basically the same thing we've been doing probably over 10 years now, where we get up with each other and just smoke and talk about whatever's going on in pop culture, I guess, but just what's going on in the world pretty much. And that's kind of how we came up with the concept. The sketches that we got in the show are kind of what our main thing is, and we kind of trying to gear the show towards that more. But it really just started off with that, and then us having one guest, and from there it went. We just tried out one guest, and it was just like after that person, I think it was Joe Freshgoods. We had the first guest we had was Vic Spencer actually, and he kind of showed us that we could do it with just him being on there, and that was somebody we've been around a long time, so it was easy for us to just kick it and talk whatever we be talking. And then we got Joe Freshgoods right after, and I feel like he opened the doors for everybody else to come on. I feel like Rocky Fresh came in between the same time, and then after that we was just getting pretty much anybody we reached out to.
Yeah, the floodgates went ahead and opened up, man. I saw you say you make your own blunts, man. How do you do that? I know I'm a smoker. I'm a smoker myself, so I watched the show. It was a cool show. You said you make your own blunts, man. What?
I just mix strains, man. You got all these new strains. You got cookies and cakes and pies, and so we just mix them up. And I go off with the names of them, and I just come up with different names depending on what I'm mixing up at the time. So it's just something that I feel like I could do. I think somebody should pay me to come around these dispensaries and these grow houses and just let me name strands. I want to be a strain namer.
So and moving on. So a little birdie told me that BJ, the Chicago Kid, is your cousin. What's going on, man? Is that true? And if so, like, what's going on with BJ? Is he dropping any new music soon?
Yeah, that's my family. He is dropping new music. I was just in LA about a month ago, and he stay in the studio. He's been in the studio like crazy since this whole COVID and quarantine and shutdown thing been going on. He just been in a studio a lot. Recording all day.
Any other famous relatives we should know about, man? Like,
nah, I mean, BJ is the guy. I got a lot of friends who I came up with that just ended up being successful in the crafts that they do. So like I grew up with Rocky Fresh. I grew up with Mikey Rocks. A few of guys like that I've known for a long time. PJ Morton is my god brother. I've been knowing him my whole life, and I mean, it's just like it's in the blood, I guess. It's just something that just happened. Like a lot of people I know just ended up being successful with the stuff that they do.
So, and you've got a pretty dope reputation yourself, man. How did you come to be Herald's chicken connoisseur? How did that even happen?
When I was like 3, maybe. I don't know. Like it was just when you eat it, it's like the best thing I've ever tasted. Like the combination is crazy. It's all about the sauce, but it's always been like a thing for me to. I always loved it. I just loved Heralds as a kid. I always wanted Heralds. We stayed off the one I grew up on was 103rd and Halsted, so that was like home to me, to the point where they knew my name or they know my order, stuff like that, and ended up years later meeting some guys who I found out are Herald's grandkids, and between the time of me knowing them and finding that out, we was always cool. So it just happened like that, I guess. And then a lot of people who know me just know me for that, just because I don't know, I love Herald's. It's nothing crazy. It's not like I eat it every day, but I can't stun on Chicago. Got the best food in the world.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. So in other news, Kid Ken finally dropped the video for Freestyle featuring Deli Bo. All right, so make sure you guys check that out. Chicago native Shea Coulee is going to be walking in Rihanna's Savage X Fenty show. The Savage X Fenty show Volume 2 will air this Friday, October 2nd at 9 p.m. Central on Amazon Prime. Shea Coulee is best known for competing on season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Shea Coulee is also the winner of season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars. A playlist with all the music mentioned today will be linked in the description box. So guys, just wait on that. That'll be going live later on tonight. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Tribe YouTube channel to stay in tune with everything we do. Now, Chicago is the food capital of the world, and that's facts. All right, according to us, facts. I don't know about y'all, but I'm always looking for the next best restaurant, especially being indoors for the last few months. Folks get tired of cooking. All right, so of course I've had a lot more time to try out new food spots, and I've gotten back in tune with some of my old favorites. Okay, now I like food, but I'm no expert, so we thought it'd be a great idea to bring in some food experts to chop it up about all things food. You get what I did there, chop food. So anyways, here with me is Amber Gibson. Amber will join us. Amber is a Chicago-based journalist specializing in travel, food, and wine. Welcome, Amber. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
No doubt. Thanks for joining us. So, Amber, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, please.
I'm from Chicago. Went to school to study journalism at Northwestern and have been covering Chicago's food scene now for more than a decade. Starting with some local publications like Time Out Chicago and Chicago Magazine. And these days, pre-pandemic, I was a true digital nomad, traveling around the world and staying in hotels 350 nights a year. So always looking for the best food and drink wherever my life would take me.
Nice. And we'll go ahead and have Larry join us again. Now, before we jump into questions, I'd like to shift and get into the Rome J Report, which is our take on news and entertainment. In Chicago, y'all know my boy Wiz Khalifa right now. His new delivery-only food service called Hotbox by Wiz launched today in Chicago and other cities in the U.S. Hotbox includes stoner-friendly dishes curated by the Taylor Gang chief himself. Okay, so let's get into the menu, which has some really cool names. I don't have the menu up right now. Larry, have you guys heard about this new Wiz spot?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear about it until y'all sent it to me. I didn't even know. Like, I had no clue.
I hadn't heard about it. I'm unfortunately outside the delivery zone tonight, but the menu looks really good. They have photos of everything up online, so you can check it out. And it looks like they have locations all across the country now. So
yeah, no, they're opening up places in Houston and all over the US. So we're gonna check that out later on. I don't have the menu up right now for me, but they got all types of crazy name, blazing wings, and
Oh yeah, they have like a hot Cheetos buffalo mac bites.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's all stuff stoners would find appetizing after you go ahead and smoke one. I'm guessing. So go ahead and check that out. Speaking of restaurants, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who, by the way, just came through for Tribe Tuesday, announced this week that the city will roll back some of the restrictions placed on businesses due to COVID-19. Starting today, bars and restaurants can reopen indoor seating at limited capacity, of course, serve alcohol until 1 a.m. And stay open until 1:30 a.m. What do y'all think about that? Amber, I'd be interested to know what you think about it, especially because of your piece you wrote for the Tribe last month, I believe. And, you know, the restrictions were really going to be a big thing, especially if these restaurants were going to survive the winter months. What do you think about the mayor pulling back some of these restrictions?
Well, I think it's really necessary for these restaurateurs and chefs to be able to survive through the winter. It'll be really important to see how carefully the restrictions, the quarantine or the social distancing can be followed, and the contact tracing. So hopefully, even in the bars, once patrons are drinking, they're still really cognizant of, you know, wearing their masks when they get up to go to the bathroom and when they're interacting with servers. I think Chicago has some of the strictest rules in place for masks when you're interacting with servers. So when a server were to bring your dish or your drink to your table, and when you're actually ordering and speaking to your server, you're supposed to be wearing your mask. And even in a longer menu, you know, I've noticed the restaurants are trying to enforce this, and I think guests are all being really respectful. From what I've seen dining out in Chicago, we understand and we need to know that we're in this together as a team. So if you want to be able to go out and, you know, enjoy your favorite places and help support your local restaurants and bars, you need to also follow the rules. So we'll just keep fingers crossed that the city can, you know, all be on the same page there.
Larry, are you looking forward to dining in at Heralds again, man?
Well, I never really have, but I'm interested. I don't know. It's different for me. I feel like people don't know this, but I was a licensed bartender for a while once, and I always look at how they get paid and all the stuff like that. So I think it's good for the food industry to be able to work at this time. But at the same time, I don't think it's safe for anybody to be going inside of a place at this moment. I feel like the numbers are not what we want them to be to claim that things are safe. And then even with her, Lori coming out with the hand sanitizer outfit today, it just seems like, I don't know. We all over the place with this. I don't know how good it's gonna be. I'm still gonna take my orders to go. But I love the outdoor seating thing that they had going on. I actually went out to eat this weekend and was able to eat outside. But since it's over with, I think I'm probably just gonna stay at home.
True. So today kicks off the first night of Blacktober, a month-long virtual food festival created by Black People Eats, highlighting Black restaurants and Black people in Chicago's food industry. For the past 3 years, Jeremy Joyce has been highlighting some of the best restaurants in Black Chicago through his platform, Black People Eats. During Blacktober, you can get specials at participating restaurants by saying Blacktober at the counter. So depending on what your pockets are looking like, there are live virtual cooking demos, happy hours, workouts, and much more. For more information, you definitely want to check out Blacktober on Eventbrite and Black People Eats on Instagram. And now let's shift and get into some questions, guys. We'll dig into our guest, Amber, as a writer who focuses on food, wine, and travel. What makes Chicago a food capital? I know we deserve the title, but let's please get some receipts on why we have the right to claim the status.
Well, I think we, as a city, and, you know, for many years now, have really excelled in fast casual and more, you know, just like casual fine dining compared to cities like San Francisco and New York, where you get a lot of just tasting menus, and that's what they're really known for. Chicago, I think, has a really interesting mix also of ethnic cuisine that people sometimes don't fully explore when they're spending their time in River North, the Loop, and the Gold Coast, if they're just visiting, for a short business trip or leisure. I really love the Ethiopian food in Chicago. When I lived in Evanston, I was always going to Ethiopian Diamond with my friends for dinner.
Nice. So I mean, Larry, what are your thoughts on that? Just people who come to Chicago and they, I guess, don't really get it. What are your thoughts, man?
I gotta agree with everything she said. It's something good for everybody, and you can't box yourself in, but it's also like you can't eat everything in one trip either. So you have to keep coming back in order to like really explore the city. It's people in Chicago who haven't eaten a lot of this stuff like that we have. We got some of the best Mexican cuisine. We got some of the best Mediterranean. We have the best, Italian. We have like 100 steakhouses. Like we have so many things that people don't even take advantage of because we don't have time to. And then we always fall in love with things we fall in love with, like me and Heralds. So it's always like once you find something good, you stay with it. But at the same time, you got to explore and get more. Because I've been around a lot of places, and we the best. Like Khaled said, we are the best, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think Chicago's neighborhoods really make the city so great too. And if you just venture out in those neighborhoods, you get that real local vibe, whether that's in Humboldt Park, Logan Square, where you're dining with mostly locals.
So, and Larry, last year you reviewed DJ Khaled's restaurant, The Licking. Tell us about that experience. Is this restaurant worth a try or not?
The Licking.
Yeah.
I think it's worth a try for sure. I don't know how much people are expecting out of it, but I think that it's a good it's a good place to try. I say at least it's got a name. They got stuff like lobster bites, like you see, and I did have those. Those are pretty good. Wings were cool, but I just feel like it's something to experience at one point or another, and at least try. We have a lot of different seafood in Chicago. One of my favorites is like Heaven on 7. We don't really talk about that much, but it's like po' boy heaven, so it's like we got so much stuff like this. I feel like it's cool, but I also feel like it's depending on the location always makes or breaks a restaurant. So like they're on Madison, not far from Uncle Remus and Taste Buds. I think it's a couple of restaurants on that street that are legendary on that street, and I don't know how they could compete, but it works out. It's okay.
So, and just real quickly, I want to get both of your opinions. The 3 best cuisines that the city may have to offer, whether that's seafood, you said we got like 100 steakhouses. Is it just the American food with hot dogs? Is it chicken? Larry, just keep going, Larry. 3 of your favorite cuisines.
My 3 favorite in Chicago, I'm gonna have to say Mexican. Probably after that, I would say we got the best hood food. I don't know if that's a category, but we got good hood food. Like you got Home of the Hoagie with the steak sandwich. You got Heralds with the 6 wings or the wings with the mild sauce. You got Sharks with the lemon pepper. You got the yellow sign places that just have everything. Gyro cheeseburgers and all of that. But I say that's one, and then the third would probably have to be either Italian or a steakhouse, whichever one you prefer.
Amber, what about you?
Yeah, I think we do. I mean, steakhouses for sure. If whether you want a real classic vibe or something, more modern and innovative. I agree. Some of the like greasy spoon food, late night, bar food. Yeah. And then I would say Italian, but like Italian American.
Yep.
That red sauce Italian.
Also pizza, just to throw that out there. Pizza. Come on, you guys know.
Of course. Many styles.
Of course. Okay, guys, lightning round, y'all. All right. I want you to name the first place that comes to mind with these foods. All right. Just when I name the foods, the first place that you would pick it up from. All right, easy enough. All right. We'll go Amber first. best Southern fried chicken.
Ooh.
So this, let's say, besides Heralds and
Besides
Remus,
Heralds.
Right.
besides Heralds and Remus, best Southern
Real chicken. Real good fried chicken.
Southern fried chicken, right?
That's tough.
I would say Virtue.
Virtue?
Yeah.
Larry, what do you think?
For me, I don't know. I can't say. I would say 5 years ago, I would say the 50-yard line, even though they're not a restaurant, it's the best fried chicken I ever had in my life. But that's in Chicago, and that's 5 years ago. So that would be fried chicken like that for me.
Okay, the best jerk, just jerk, period.
Ooh.
Uncle Joe's. I say Uncle Joe's.
There's a place in the Loop that was by, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of it. It's in the Loop. It was right by the Hard Rock Hotel.
Brown, Mr. Brown's. Is it Mr. Brown's?
Yes, Mr. Brown's. Yes.
They are pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, now how about mac and cheese?
My mama, I like I gotta say my mom, man. I really, really have a thing about macaroni and cheese. So it would have to be my mother.
Palace Grill.
What's House Grill?
Palace Grill, like
Palace
the only thing I ever eat there is like way late at night, and
that's what she going with.
Okay, pizza puffs. Where can they find the best pizza puff?
Oh my God, you guys. Yeah, you go, Amber, first.
I'm gonna go with Roots.
I never had this.
Roots Pizza. They just opened a new location in the South Loop.
I gotta check them out. I'm gonna have to check it out. For me, it would have to be honestly, it's really any yellow sign other than the places that allow you to create your own. And I don't know many nowadays, but in like 2012, it was a lot of places that would let you create your own pizza puff. So I'm gonna just go with a yellow sign. Any yellow sign you find.
Okay, and thin or thick crust pizza?
Then, well, deep dish or thin crust?
I'm just asking you, thin or okay, let's do deep dish. Thin or deep dish?
Thin.
I would choose thin most of the time, but if deep dish, paisanos.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If deep dish, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with you with that one. That's a great one. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I like Unos. People don't really like Unos because they give you chunks of vegetable in it, but I like it. It's cool with me. Like, let's get it. But thin crust, yeah, I'm going with I'm gonna go with paisanos on the thin crust. I like Home Run Inn, but sometimes they don't cook it well enough, and then Giordano's crust isn't good. But they have good pizza though.
Yeah, for thin crust, I like Back in Napoli for the real thin, like Neapolitan.
Can I go back? Thin crust, I'm going Chuck's Pizza in Beverly.
Okay. So you mentioned hood snacks, Larry. Okay, so let's go to Flamin' Hots or Crunchy Curls. And which one do you prefer with cheese?
I think I'm going, if I have to choose between a chip, I'm going with Crunchy Curls. But with cheese and meat, I'm going with Flamin' Hot. It's just a classic combination.
Okay, facts. What about you, Amber? Do you have an opinion on this one?
No, I can't say I eat this. I think I might be a little too bougie.
You can eat it with a fork.
Oh, bro, you definitely can. Larry, if you're going to the corner store, what are you grabbing, man? I heard you say in the Thrillist interview, Mystique is like the hood Snapple. So I know you're grabbing a Mystique. What else are you grabbing from the corner store, man?
I'm a chip guy, man. I like the whole Vintners brand, really. The sizzling salt and sour, the sizzling triple cheese, Crunchy Curls, like you said. I even do the nuggets. Other than that, I'm not a sweets guy, so I don't do like candies and cakes and stuff like that too often. So I don't really eat all of that. It's gonna be chips for me. But I do like Famous Amos cookies as well. They knock those and powdered donuts sometimes.
I have a sweet tooth, so I would go for those like $1 ice cream sandwiches.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So Amber and Larry, Are there any little known spots in the city that not too many people know about? Like we all know about the popular spots, but like, can you guys put us on to something exclusive? Put us on, Amber. What's a little known place people really don't know about that's really good?
Okay, from my time back in Evanston, I love Soul and Smoke. They, Heather and DeAndre are so sweet, and they've done a massive amount of charity feeding families in need in Evanston, Chicago, and Inglewood during the pandemic. So they used to do catering stuff, and now they have their barbecue available for delivery and pickup on Talk. And you can even purchase like a $10 meal for the community that will go to somebody in need.
Okay, Larry, put us on, brother.
For me, it would be Haley's Hoagies. It's a spot in Inglewood, owned by, well, technically, I guess it's owned by a 5-year-old girl. Her family bought it, and she's like the face and everything. But they have like steak sandwiches and hoagies. They also do wings and pizza as well. But mostly it's steak sandwiches and hoagies, just like home of the hoagie. But they also have a turkey option, which no places have. So that's my spot that I think people need to look out for.
It's your boy Rome J right now. I got food, wine travel critic Amber Gibson with me, and I have Larry Legend, of course. Your boy Rome J, we real Chicago. On that note, Larry, you're a self-described Herald's chicken connoisseur. Chicago folks love to argue about the best location. Can you give us like your top 3 best Herald's locations and give us a reason why? I listened to the Thrillist interview, man. This shit had me rolling. You basically said a Herald's is no good if you can't smell mild sauce. You almost don't trust it if it's too clean. Walk me through your top 3 Herald's and why, man.
My first one would be 95th and Bill. Everybody knows this at this point. It's the one that is owned by Harold's grandkids, have original recipe. Prices are very good, and they cook to order. So it takes a while, but it's worth it every bit. You don't even have to ask for a fried heart. That's number 1. Number 2 would be for me, probably 73rd and Stony. I believe it's 73rd. That's a good spot to go to late night. It's always done me well. Every once in a while, people will tell me like, I don't really like that one, but who cares what they like? It's me. So I say them 2, and then 3 would be for me, 87 RIP. I'm gonna go with 103rd and Halsted. That's my home Heroes. I haven't been there since they reopened within the last few months, but I've been there earlier this year, and it's still my home. So I always got to rep 103rd. That's the one. That's 3.
Facts. Now, relatedly, we lost the original Heralds on 87th and the Dan Ryan, as you spoke of. What was your reaction to that news? And what did that location mean to just like Black Southsiders, Larry?
Everything, man. It's like the place to be throughout the middle of the night when you have, you leaving the club or anything like that. It's 87th Street, so you going past it back and forth, and you always see it all the time. It's just the one. It's the main Heroes to get to. I feel like it's everybody's favorite one. It's the most consistent in Chicago. I will say that. It's not always my favorite though, but I can't deny it.
Hey, we lost Jerome, so I'm gonna pop in. Like this is what it is. I am Morgan Elise Johnson, co-founder of the Tribe. So let me see where he left off. Amber, you published a piece in the Tribe about challenges in Black restaurants are experiencing in the face of COVID. Can you tell us why you wanted to focus on that?
Well, I think some of these chefs and restaurateurs haven't had their stories told in other mainstream media, and I wanted to highlight 3 very different restaurants that have very different challenges. All 3 restaurateurs are still doing okay right now, and the Delta is going to start serving brunch in the middle of October. So it's nice to see able to expand their operating hours, hopefully have a few more hours for staff, and I'm looking forward to getting back to the Delta.
And like when you were reporting on that piece, what did you learn from the subjects of your story? Have you spoken to them since it was published?
I have. I mean, from both them and other chefs and restaurateurs that I've spoken to, one of the biggest challenges that didn't quite make it into my story that people are facing is having to be the mask police, and that's really tough because it's an added stress on servers who are already putting themselves at risk just to be there at work serving you so you can have a nice meal and have a good time out. These restaurateurs have all had to pivot to also doing takeout and delivery and seeing how financially feasible that's going to be moving forward. And it's really hard to predict, as the $600 PUA supplement was expired. A lot of people who had been maybe going out to eat and stimulating the economy in that way no longer had the funds to do that. And so it's a really it's a push-pull. It's very hard to predict what's going to happen week to week, what's going to happen in the city in terms of numbers, and what sort of response you'll have from customers.
I mean, imagine working like a minimum wage job at a restaurant and having to step in and be some kind of mask security and dealing with angry people who don't want to adhere to the rules. I don't know. Have y'all ever worked in the restaurant industry and dealt with those types of challenges?
Mm-hmm.
I have not. I've worked retail, but I haven't worked in the restaurant industry.
I mean, retail probably going through the same thing. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Honestly, people are not getting paid enough. So I can't even imagine the type of risk that they have to take, facing people who are.
That's absolutely true. And one of the constants among all the restaurateurs that I spoke to is that they really wanted to take care of their staff and do right by their staff. And so not only do they want to be able to give them enough hours to support them, but also really weighing that risk reward when it comes to health versus, going to work.
Are either of you into cooking? How creative have you gotten cooking at home? Because I don't for me, I order out a lot during COVID because I'm I'm low-key depressed half the time, covering the news, covering the uprisings, and cooking has just seems like a heavy lift for me. But every time I order out, low-key, I've been kind of disappointed. It's the food hasn't been hitting as much as it has in the past for me. I don't know if y'all are having the same experience with ordering out or cooking at home.
Mm-hmm. I've had a few surprisingly good takeout delivery meals, but mostly when I am ordering takeout and delivery, it's more to support the restaurants, really focusing on those independent restaurants that, maybe haven't received the PPP loan and really are in precarious situations. I have been cooking a bit more with my mom, though. Previously, when I've been traveling as much as I was pre-pandemic, I was staying in hotels, so I didn't have a kitchen. So I can't say I am a very talented cook, but I can play sous chef. So it's been nice to spend that time with my mom. And, when I was quarantined back with my parents for a bit, we started a garden in the backyard. So turnip greens, I never would have thought they were as delicious as they are.
Oh, yeah.
Are you cooking, Larry?
Yeah, I'm cooking. I've been eating out a lot, but and I try to, like she said, go to places that just smaller places to try to support them and make sure that they getting some kind of customers coming in. So I do that every once in a while, but I cook. In the beginning, I was cooking a lot in the first part of quarantine and everything, and then as the summer came, it just kind of got, I got a little lazy with it, but. I've been perfecting a lot of my little meals that I'd like to do at the house, like my curried chicken, shrimp, and stuff like that.
Chicken, what?
Yeah. My whole
curry chicken. What's the secret?
The secret to curry chicken?
Yeah.
Coconut milk, probably. It might be. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly, but I would say it probably is coconut milk. It doesn't take as long as you may think it takes to make. It's actually a pretty simple thing. You could pretty much make it with any. I mean, they're gonna tell you to make it dark meat, but you can make it with whatever you want to make it with. As long as you got the seasonings and the sauce together, you're gonna have a good time. But yeah, that's one of the things I've been doing. I do pizzas a lot. I've done wings every type of way you could imagine. I've baked them crispy and I've put them on a skillet, or I put them in the grill or fried them, whatever. Whatever I felt at the time is what I did. But yeah, we cook a lot in this house.
I mean, as you talk, I'm thinking, I'm just like, okay, Larry Legend cooking show with the tribe. Like, what's good?
Hey, I mean, I have a few show food ideas, like a few. We could talk about this off air.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Amber, travel is a big part of what you do. I know for like one of my best friends, she always just wants to quit her job and travel and eat for a living. So like, what is it like during COVID when all of a sudden like that dream is put on pause? You know, the U.S. passport doesn't mean anything right now. Like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
I know. I never would have thought a year ago that we couldn't go to Canada.
Crazy.
It's really, but I think I tried to make the most of it. I started writing for some different publications and covering some new topics too. So focusing more on wellness and health, even personal finance, and doing more stories about cooking at home. So for National Coffee Day, I just published a piece about how to make a professional quality mocha at home for the Spruce Eats, which was a fun one to research. It's my favorite coffee drink, so I've had a lot of experience drinking mochas everywhere I'm traveling.
That's dope. And before we let y'all go, let us know what you're working on now and how people can find you.
Amber first. She's a lady.
Oh, thank you, Larry. I have started traveling again, although mostly domestically. So I'm still writing for a couple dozen different publications. Freelancing is always such a hustle, but people can find me and follow my adventures on Instagram. I'm at Amber YV.
Okay, Ben, what about you, Larry?
I've just been doing the same old thing, just trying to keep busy with the show. We actually we're coming out with the show again soon. We're just trying to get some stuff together in order for it to work the way we want it to work. So luckily it's really, in a way, it's been COVID, but it's not been COVID. So we'll be able to make it happen. But other than that, you can just find me on the internet. I'm always out here. I'm doing stuff all the time. Larry is Legend on Twitter, Larry's Legend 1 on Instagram, and that's everything I'm on pretty much. So,
all right, thank you, Amber and Larry, for coming through. We can't let you go, Chicago, without telling you what's popping this weekend in Chicago. So, Girls Love R&B meets Paint and Drink for a smooth and groovy evening created to make you vibe to R&B music while unleashing your creativity on canvas. Now, this Ladies Night Paint and Drink event is hosted by art instructor Brianna Soret and will take place this Sunday, October 4th at the Promontory. It begins at 4 o'clock and tickets will not be available at the door. So ladies, get your tickets early. And of course, to stay in tune with what's going on in these streets, make sure you check out the scene on the Tribe. Well, all right, y'all, that's our show. We want to thank all of today's guests, Amber and Larry, who proved why Chicago is the food capital of the world. Thank y'all for stopping by today. Of course, we couldn't do this without our viewers. So thank you for watching. Any questions about the show or want to reach out to us, hit us up at connect@thetribe.com. Also, family, make sure to fill out the census. It's so important for us, especially in Black and Brown communities, to fill out the census because we typically don't do it, y'all. The deadline has been extended to October 5th. Early voting for the 2020 presidential election is underway in select locations in the city. Be sure to follow the 2020 election coverage from the Tribe and Injustice Watch for more information about where you can cast your vote. Also, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that little bell so you can get notified every time we are posting new content on YouTube. I am Morgan Elise Johnson, co-founder, creative director of The Tribe. Make sure you follow us everywhere. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and if all hearts are cleared, until next time, stay real, stay safe, Chicago.